in the last session, we have discussed about structure of sperm. Just I'll brief about this. The structure of sperm is haploid, microscopic in nature. It consists of a condensed nucleus which carries genetic material. The structure of sperm consists of head, neck, middle piece and tail. The head part and most of the part of the sperm is covered by plasma membrane. The head part of the sperm consists of nucleus containing haploid number of chromosomes. Anterior to it, it consists of acrosome. Acrosome contains digestive enzymes which helps in fertilization. Middle piece, it is spindle in shape, as well as we can see mitochondria is spindle and helps in providing energy. Tail helps in motility. So we can see here that around 200 to 300 million sperms will be ejaculated. 60% must have normal shape and 40% should show a vigorous motility for fertilization. So till here I just briefed the structure of sperm. Full details you can see in the last video. Now I'll discuss about oogenesis. Oogenesis, it is defined as the process of formation of mature female gamete, that is ovum, is called oogenesis. So oogenesis we can find here. So it is nothing but a formation of female gamete. The female gamete is also called as ovum. And oogenesis will start before birth. Please remember that the formation of ovum will start in the fetus itself, especially in the female. And it stops in mid-process and again it starts later after menarche, that is the first menstrual bleeding. Hence, oogenesis is called as discontinuous process. Just listen, spermatogenesis, it will start at the puberty age and it will carry on throughout their life. Whereas oogenesis will start before birth. It starts before birth. In the fetus itself it will start. Before birth itself it will start and then it will stop. The process will stop for certain years. Again the process will continue at the puberty period, at the puberty stage. Hence oogenesis is called as discontinuous process. So next we can find here in the fetus. So the fetus is present in the womb of the mother. We can find that there are around 6 to 7 million follicles will be present. So as all the organs are developing in the fetus ovary, in the ovary of the fetus we can find there will be around 6 to 7 million follicles will be developed. These follicles later will develop into ovum. But all the follicles do not develop, only few follicles develop into ovum. So in fetus there will be 6 to 7 million follicles. At the time of birth, when the girl baby is born, we can say that there will be around 2 million primary follicles. So from fetus, in the gestation period, that is within 9 months, we can say 7 million follicles will be there around. And at the time of birth, we can see it consists of only 2 million primary follicles. So rest of all the follicles, they got degenerated. And then we can find that at the puberty period, as the girl reaches to puberty age, that is either 11 or 12 years, we can find it consists of 60,000 to 80,000 primary follicles will be present. So we can find the difference here. From 7 million follicles in the fetus, at the puberty age we are just seeing 60,000 to 80,000 primary follicles will be present. All other follicles has been degenerated. That process is called as follicular atresia. So degeneration, we can call it as follicular atresia. So in the oogenesis, it consists of three phases are present: multiplication phase, growth phase and maturation phase. First we will study a schematic representation of this oogenesis. You can see here the chart, it is schematic representation. So initially you can find here, so from here to here, it is called as multiplication phase. So it is called as multiplication phase. So it is a first phase, that is multiplication phase. So next we can find that this phase. So here you can find only from here to here, it is a growth phase. I have written just G here. It is a growth phase. From here to here, it is maturation phase. So three phases are present in the oogenesis. This is multiplication phase, and this is a second one, it is a growth phase, and third one, it is a maturation phase. Now we are going to see here what exactly in the multiplication phase undergoes. So in the multiplication phase, this will take place in the ovary of the fetus. So as we just told that the multiplication phase will be occurring when it is in the womb of the mother. So now here we can find this is a ovary. Ovary is lined by germinal epithelium cells. Some of the germinal epithelium cells will be large in size. So these are the germ cells. These are called as what? Germ cells. In the ovary of the fetus, germinal epithelium cells, you can find some germ cells. So these are enlarged cells called germ cells. This will undergo multiplication. So now what happens here? So imagine I have taken only one cell. So each cell will be diploid in nature. It will undergo mitosis division. So one cell will give rise to two cells. Again two cells will undergo again mitosis division, which is giving rise to four cells. So same as it is. So this complete part is called as multiplication phase. Each single one, here we are calling it as a oogonia. It is called as oogonia. So now, so till here multiplication over. So each and every cell here, it is diploid in nature because it has undergone mitosis division. Now we will see what happens. One cell we are taking and we are explaining what happens to these oogonia cell. So now this is nothing but the growth phase. So till here it is nothing but the multiplication phase. So now this is I am describing about this growth phase. Now coming to growth phase, the name itself indicates. So this is a growth phase. It is a growth phase where a single oogonia enlarges in size. So I am talking about here. So it is enlarged in its size. So why it has enlarged in its size means it is undergoing vitalogenesis. Vitalogenesis means it is synthesizing yolk. So here yolk is synthesized as well as cytoplasm also increases. As cytoplasm is increasing, the cell size also will increase. Now this cell is called as primary oocyte. So after growth phase, you are calling it as a primary oocyte. It is called as primary oocyte. So this will take place once the baby is born. So the thing is, see, as we discussed earlier itself, So it will start at the fetal life. At the birth, little bit process will has taken place. Later on, after puberty, this maturation phase will take place. Now this primary oocyte will undergo meiosis division. So here you can find the things like, here you can find, here it is a primary oocyte. This is undergoing the first meiotic division. So this primary oocyte will undergo first meiotic division. So when it is undergoing meiosis division, it produces two cells. You can see here, these are the two cells produced. So after undergoing first meiotic division, two cells are produced, but the cells are unequal in size due to unequal cytokinesis. So here what happened here is, as this meiosis is taking place, so it is giving rise to two cells. One will be bigger in size and another one will be smaller in size. Because it is meiosis, it will be haploid in nature. It will have only 23 chromosomes. So there is a karyokinesis is equal, that is nucleus division is proper. Whereas cytokinesis, what happens, that is cytoplasm, here the cytoplasm is more. Here the cytoplasm is very less. That is why here the cell is very small. And this small cell you are calling it as a polar body. It is called as polar body. The large one which is having more amount of cytoplasm, and this is called as secondary oocyte. But what happens here is, so half of the meiosis takes place here. So before undergoing this, forming the secondary oocyte, so imagine now the primary oocyte is present. It has started meiotic division, but it will be arrested here temporarily. In the meiosis, first it will undergo prophase 1. In the prophase 1, it will start leptotin, zygotin, pacotin. Whereas in the diplotin stage, which stage? Please remember that diplotin stage, it will stop. The meiosis will be arrested for some time at diplotin stage. Later on, at the time of puberty, what happens? It start undergoing a complete meiosis 1. After the meiosis 1 is completed, you are going to get secondary oocyte and then polar body. That is why they have given here adult reproductive life. So once at the puberty stage, meiosis 1 will be completed. So now secondary oocyte will undergo second meiotic division. So here it will undergo second meiotic division. So this second meiotic division will take place once the secondary oocyte comes in contact with the sperm. Then the secondary oocyte will undergo differentiation. Before that, the secondary oocyte is also arrested. So here secondary oocyte will undergo meiosis 2. It will undergo meiosis 2. But it will be arrested in metaphase. It is arrested in metaphase. It is arrested in metaphase. In the metaphase, you know, that is prophase, metaphase, it is arrested. Still it has to undergo anaphase as well as telophase. But at this place, it has stopped. So later, once secondary oocyte comes in contact with the sperm, the secondary oocyte will undergo complete meiosis 2 and then it produces ovum, which is a female gamete, and again it produces one second polar body. Again here also you can see it is haploid in nature. Even this is also haploid in nature, but the cytoplasm is not equally shared. Okay, this process you will understand each and every step when we study in detail. So this is a schematic representation, just we have studied now. But still, what is exactly happening in the ovary, we are going to study step by step. And at the end of this video, we will see animation where it clarifies our doubt, that is how this secondary oocyte and the primary oocyte will undergo division. So next we are going to study about in detail about multiplication phase. So now here, as I already told you, multiplication takes place in the fetus ovary. Multiplication takes place in the fetus ovary. So as I told you, in the ovary there is a epithelial cells are present. One of the epithelial cell, please remember, it will be large in size. This large cell which undergoes mitosis division. Few cells will be there here and there. So you can see here two cells I have drawn, larger in size. These are called as germ cells. These are called as germ cells. These germ cells, as we have discussed already, they are called as egg mother cells or oogonia. This oogonia will undergo mitosis division, producing two cells. Two cells will give rise to four cells. So all are undergoing mitosis division. Because it is undergoing mitosis division, all cells are diploid in nature. Now, these cells, each and every single cell, now it is called as oogonia. It is called as what? Oogonia. And then we can say, as its number increases, so it will move. All cells will move. So from the cortex region, all cells will move to the stroma and forms a mass. And that mass, rounded mass of these cells are called as egg nest. So of this, some cells will grow and in size, as we have studied, it undergoes growth phase and forms primary oocyte. So please remember that the primary oocyte will start undergoing meiosis division, but it will be arrested in the meiosis prophase 1, which is in diplotin stage. So next in the growth phase, as we have discussed, so primary oocyte. So this primary oocyte will be there and it won't undergo development. So at the puberty period, you can see that the development will start taking place and it will also undergo many changes. So we are going to study what all the changes it is going to take place. So now the primary oocyte. So you can find here it is all taking place in the ovary. Inside the ovary it is taking place. Imagine now this is a primary oocyte. So I am writing what all the changes taking place in the ovary. So this primary oocyte will be surrounded by a single layer of cells. It will be surrounded by single layer of cells. These single layer of cells is called as granulosa cells. It is called as granulosa cells. Now, this is a primary oocyte. Primary oocyte. This primary oocyte, it has started producing single layer of granulosa cells. Now, we are calling this as primary follicle. I think you are able to understand the difference now. This is primary oocyte. Here it has become primary follicle. Now this primary follicle will grow. It will start growing where you can find there will be more number of granulosa cells. So not actually in primary follicle only one layer is present. So it will start producing 2 to 3 layers of granulosa cells will be formed. Okay, 2 to 3 layers of granulosa cells will be formed. And then it produces one thick layer which is called as theca layer. So it is called as theca layer. So now primary oocyte has become primary follicle. Primary follicle has become secondary follicle. It develops into secondary follicles. So please remember that the number of primary follicles in the ovary will be same whatever the number is present at the time of birth. Never the follicles will increase in their number after birth. Now, this secondary follicle later on it develops further to form a tertiary follicle. We'll just see. So now here we can find in the maturation phase what all the changes will take place. So as I already discussed, secondary follicles will be present. Now we will see how this secondary follicle will later on develop into tertiary follicle. So now we can find here the secondary follicle as I have written here. So I am writing only secondary follicle. I am writing which is inner side. It is having primary oocyte will be surrounded by many layers of. It is surrounded by many layers of granulosa cell, and then it will have only one layer which is called as theca layer. Okay, remembering. Now this is nothing but the secondary follicle. Now we will see secondary follicle how it is converted into tertiary follicle. So now here we can find that it starts producing two layers. So as we can find here, so it is a primary oocyte. It is surrounded by more number of granulosa cells. It will be surrounded by more number of granulosa cells compared to secondary follicle. And then we can see the theca cell is, here we can find it is surrounded by, the theca cell will be differentiated into two layers. It is differentiated into two layers. So one is called as theca externa, outer one, outer side it is called as theca externa, and inner one is called as theca interna. Inner one is called as theca interna. You can find here inner theca interna and outer theca externa. And then one speciality in the tertiary follicle. This is what is a tertiary follicle. So in this tertiary follicle, we can find that a small, here there will be a development of a cavity. It starts developing a cavity will be present, and the cavity here start producing a cavity here which is called as antrum. It is called as antrum, which will be filled with the fluid. So this is a characteristic feature of the tertiary follicle. Now this we can say it is fully developed or grown primary oocyte. So this is a primary oocyte in the growth phase. It has undergone many changes. Primary follicle changed to secondary follicle. From secondary follicle it has changed to tertiary follicle. After that it will undergo meiosis division. So it will undergo meiosis 1, and then it is going to produce two daughter cells, and we know for some time it will be arrested also. Later on the meiosis will be completed and it produces secondary oocyte and a tiny one which is called as polar body, or it is also called as polocyte. So this we can say that. So why the difference? We can find here the difference here, that is, see, as I have already told you, this is nothing but the tertiary follicle. This is nothing but the tertiary follicle containing granulosa cells, as well as this is nothing but a cavity which is filled with the fluid called as antrum. Okay, so first it undergoes a first meiotic division. Then later on, after undergoing first meiotic division, after forming secondary oocyte, we can find that later on it changes to a mature follicle called Graafian follicle. So Graafian follicle, what happens to the Graafian follicle is nothing but, so now this is actually, now here it is a primary oocyte, okay. After it is undergoing meiosis division, you are calling it this as a secondary oocyte. Okay, this secondary oocyte will be surrounded by, it will be surrounded by zona pellucida. So this part will be surrounded by zona pellucida. Okay, and then of course, so it will be having few granulosa cells will be present. So this matured Graafian follicle, okay, so this will be coming out from the ovary. So now once it is coming out from the ovary, we can say it is nothing but the ovulation. So the Graafian follicle, once it is developed, we can find that it is released out. So I'll just tell you here. So here you can find that. So in the ovary, we can find here. So this is what is a development has taken place. This is nothing but the ovulation, where the secondary oocyte, is released from the ovary. Now this secondary oocyte, suddenly it won't undergo second meiotic division. So it starts second meiotic division, but it will be arrested in the metaphase. So it will enter into the fallopian tube. I think you are remembering. So the ovary will be connected to the fallopian tube. So it is connected to the fallopian tubes. Okay, so now this ovary, imagine now from this ovary, the secondary oocyte is released. Please remember that it is not ovum is releasing, it is secondary oocyte is releasing. So it is released into the fallopian tube. If this secondary oocyte comes in contact with the sperm, if it comes in contact, if at all there is a sperm, then only the meiosis 2 will be completed. Otherwise, meiosis 2 is not completed. Once the meiosis 2 takes place, imagine sperm is present. As the sperm reaches the that is secondary oocyte, the second meiotic division takes place, and then again we can find the secondary, that is ovum is formed, and the polar body is also formed. So the ovum is the actual female gamete. So whereas the polar body, it will degenerate due to less deposition of cytoplasm. So just we can find in this video, we can find how this differentiation as well as the development and the movement, how the division is taking place. So now here we can find, so the ovary, it consists of many primordial cells as well as primary is converted into secondary. Secondary will be converted into mature follicle. So here you are seeing a tertiary follicle, which is matured follicle. It will undergo a first meiotic division. So when it undergoes first meiotic division, it produces one small polar body as well as a secondary oocyte is formed. The secondary oocyte and the polar body both are haploid in nature. The polar body will degenerate, whereas the secondary oocyte is ovulated. It is coming out of the ovary and it reaches the fallopian tube. So it is entering into the fallopian tube. If it comes in contact with the sperm, again the second meiotic division will take place, where the secondary oocyte will undergo the division which produces a polar body and the ovum. So polar body will be degenerated and the mature functional ovum will be present. This further develops. So in the next section, we are going to study about structure of an ovum.